Good morning, Mehta sir. I have made you the co-host, so if I'm correct, you will be able to mute and unmute yourself.
Okay, good morning. Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning,
you
sir.
so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the Nani Palkhivala Memorial National Moot Court Virtual Competition 2021, organized by Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai, jointly with the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners and the Goods and Services Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be commencing shortly with the inaugural ceremony. We are waiting for some speakers to join us. Thank you so much for your patience.
Good morning, Dr. Shivram and Guvnik. Good morning, all the esteemed colleagues.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, we are waiting for the president to join us. Yes, to 2 minutes. Much obliged. Thank you.
I'm sure he'll be joining us any minute.
No, much obliged. So thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Yes, Srinivasarao, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Very sorry to.
Yes, very well. No problem.
I'm very sorry to guys because of some technical problem. Just remember, we will have joined on here.
Good morning, sir, to all of you.
Ravi joined?
Yes, sir, I'm there, sir.
Okay. Ravi, everything is ready?
Yes, yes.
सेक्रेटरी जनरल और ट्रेजरर को ज्वाइन होने को बोलो.
हाँ.
रवि कल लेटर भेज दिया अंकल को. ಇದು ರಿಸೋರ್ಟ್ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡು. రెండు పోతాయి.
Am I audible?
You are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You are audible. You are audible. प्रवीण से ज्वाइन हो गया मोदी साहब. नितेश मोदी सर. प्रवीण चेयरमैन. पाटकर नहीं दिख रहा है. ఇది వెనకాల ఆటోలు గిట్లు వస్తున్నాయి. లైటింగ్ కి అవన్నీ కనబడుతున్నాయి. అది అందుకోసం ఇది కుదరదు. స్టాండ్ మీద Hello.
આઠને 8:30નો ટાઈમ છે, હજી તો ચાલુ જ નથી. અરે એફટીપી ની નહીં, આ તો મહારાષ્ટ્ર લો યુનિવર્સિટી. બોલે બતાવી દે ને. Yes. I think host can start. I think Honorable President already joined. I think.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they can start. Okay, please.
I welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the Nani Palkhivala Memorial National Moot Court Virtual Competition 2021, organized by Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai, jointly with the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners and the Goods and Services Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra. Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai is one of the premier national law universities in India. It envisages to impart advanced legal education and promote society-oriented research and legal studies for the advancement of the societal life of the people and country. The primary goal of the university is to disseminate advanced legal knowledge and processes of law amongst the students and impart in them the skills of advocacy, legal services, law reform, and make them aware and capable to utilize these instruments for social transformation and development. Inspired by the ideology to have a common platform for all those who practice taxation laws, irrespective of their individual affiliations, and to enable them to share the benefits of their learning and sharing of knowledge, eminent professionals from the field of direct and indirect taxes conceived the idea of establishing an all-India body for tax practitioners. The main objective of the AIFTP is to spread education in the matters relating to tax laws, other laws, and accountancy. The members of the AIFTP comprise of senior advocates, solicitors, chartered accountants, and tax practitioners practicing in direct and indirect taxes from all states across the country. The Goods and Services Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra aims to be a leading association of tax professionals practicing in indirect taxes, especially the goods and services tax. Its objective is to educate and enrich members with the knowledge on indirect taxes operative in the state of Maharashtra and across India. The GSTPAM also encourages and empowers members to be leading tax professionals in the area of indirect taxes, along with spreading awareness and knowledge of GST and other indirect taxes to the taxpayers and public at large. I echo the sentiment of Jim Lovell today when he said, and I quote, "There are people who make things happen, there are people who watch things happen, and there are people who wonder what happened. To be successful, you need to be a person who makes things happen." Moot court competitions prepare students to be doers, to take initiative, and to speak up against the injustices of and illegalities in the society. A moot court competition stimulates a court hearing in which participants analyze a problem, research the relevant law, prepare written submissions, and present oral arguments. Moot problems are typically set in areas of law that are unsettled or have been subject to recent developments. They usually involve two grounds of appeal, argued by each side. Mooting enables students to engage with and think deeply about interesting and topical legal issues, enhance their advocacy, legal research and writing skills, work closely and learn from their peers, and demonstrate their interest in advocacy and competence as an advocate to prospective employers. Some advice for the budding mooters today: the manner in which you speak is as important as the substance of your speech. Being loud, aggressive, or brash does not necessarily make you right or correct. Elegance, poise, calmness, and kindness are highly important yet undervalued traits. Seize them and change the discourse of your oral rounds. Have faith in yourself. Even the best advocates aren't perfect, and not every case is a winner. But confidently presenting your ideas and speaking in a clear, forthright tone can make all the difference. Without further ado, I now call upon Professor Dr. Dilip UK to address this August gathering. Sir is the Vice Chancellor of Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai. Among his various academic and administrative roles, he has also served as a professor and head of Department of Law, Pune University, the Pro-Chancellor and Acting Vice-Chancellor at SRTM University, Nanded, and Visiting Research Fellow at New South Wales University, Australia. He is an expert in jurisprudence, constitutional law, administrative law, and human rights, and his work in these fields is recognized in national and international fora. Sir has also served on various high-level committees of the UGC, the NAAC, the UPSC, the State Public Service Commissions, including judges selection panels. As a leader with a vision, he has made MNLU Mumbai the much-cherished university by law aspirants within a very short span of time. He was awarded the Best Academician Award 2019 by the Indian National Bar Association. Among his vast legal scholarships, 2 books, one on the jurisprudence of legal theory and the other on revisiting reforms in the criminal justice system in India, have been published by Thomson Reuters in 2020. I welcome Sir to share some words of wisdom with us today.
Thank you, Ms. Pia. A very good morning to all the office bearers of All India Tax Practitioners Association as well as GST Tax Practitioners Association, my colleagues and dear participants. At the outset, I wish all of you a very happy Constitution Day. What a day which we have selected and chosen for this Nani Palkhivala All India Moot Court competition. His contribution, even in the domain of constitutional law, is well known. This is not an occasion to dwell upon that, but at the same time, as all of us know, that not only in tax but constitutional law matters, various principles which have been argued by him in the Supreme Court, they have been now rather a guiding spirit since ages past. As Ms. Pia has pointed out, the Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai, which was established in 2015, now it is our 7th year. Along with BA LLB honors courses, we offer regular LLM and PhD, as well as other courses like MA Executive in Mediation and Conflict Resolution, in association with SEBI's NISM, LLM in Investment and Security Laws, as well as for professional, LLM professional, and along with that, several diploma courses. I'm really happy to share with you that just recently, in association with the chairman is here, GST Tax Practitioners Association Chairman Mr. Mehta, who is here. In collaboration with them, we have just introduced recently the diploma in GST law. Because along with the regular courses, we have near about 15 centers, including the Center of Advanced Tax and Research in Law. As the basic area of taxation, which is otherwise really a critical one, a complex one, but with this dissemination of knowledge in the tax area now, the GST, which has become more pertinent, which has become more important, and that's why we thought of to have a kind of a collaboration with GST Practitioners Association. As the institution, as an institution of higher learning, and moreover, the institution of legal education imparting, it is not our duty only to impart the legal education, but to contribute in some way into the social development. And from that point of view, the act, the programs, including training programs, as well as the research projects, as well as the conferences which we keep organizing in association with different sort of bodies as. When this matter has come up about this Nani Palkhivala moot court competition, I thank the All India Tax Practitioners Federation for this, as well as the GST Tax Practitioners Association, because this is the much cherished goal. Because as the learned Palkhivala sir, who as a leading luminary, legal luminary, was who had contributed immensely in the domain of taxation. As today we are celebrating Constitution Day, wherein the preamble talks about justice, social, economic, and political. And that's what rather the relevance of today is much more important than when we talk about taxation. Of course, the problem is there, the participants are there, teams are there who will participate, and because of pandemic, we had to do it on online mode. But as the teams are participating, competing with each other, and as Ms. P also has pointed out during her opening remarks, that ultimately, definitely, one or the other team is going to win. But what is important, one, as usually we say, is the participation. It is the process of learning. It is the process of gaining a knowledge, and that too from the experts like all of you. With this, I wish all the good luck, all the best luck to all of you for healthy competition and participation in this national moot court competition in the name of Nani Palkhivala. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. Our next address for the day is by Mr. Praveen Shah, Chairman, Western Zone, AIFTP. The AIFTP is a symbol and spirit of national integration. As of today, it is the only voluntary professional organization of our country which has 138 professional associations as its affiliated members and more than 8,000 individuals as life members from over 28 states and 4 union territories. It also has on its roll associate and corporate members. It is a unique association at the national level which has been making representations for better tax law and tax administration. The AIFTP and its associate members have filed more than 35 public interest petitions before various courts for better administration of tax laws and to uphold the independence of judicial forums. The AIFTP regularly sends pre- and post-budget memorandums. Many of its suggestions and the recommendations are often accepted. It also regularly publishes books in simple language and question-answer format at a low cost. It has published more than 43 publications till date. Mr. Praveen Shah spearheads these activities as a key member of the organization. I now welcome Sir to address this August gathering.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, sir. You're audible.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Honorable President of ITAT, Sri G.S. Pannu sir, Honorable Vice President of ITAT Mumbai Zone, Sri Pramod Kumar sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Maharashtra National Law University, Professor Dilip Uke sir, National President of AIFTP, Sri M. Srinivas Rao sir, Dr. K. Shivram sir, Senior Advocate, Mentor of Moot Court Competition, Sri Alok Mehta, President of GSTPM, and Sri Vinayak Patkar, Advocate from Mumbai, friend and guide of AIFTP. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Honorable President Sri G.S. Pannu sir and Vice President Honorable Sri Pramod Kumar sir and fellow participants. Friends, Padma Vibhushan and Palkhivala National Moot Court Virtual Competition 2021 is an honest attempt of the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners Western Zone to bring awareness among the law students of India about the advantages of knowing tax laws and to remember Sri Palkhivala for his immense services to the country, especially for the development of tax laws. After the introduction of goods and service tax in our country, many law professionals have entered the practice of taxation laws. Unfortunately, in most of the colleges and even in the law syllabus, the tax laws are optional subjects. Hence, the students do not get proper training. Therefore, AFTP West Zone decided to hold this moot court competition in direct and indirect taxes. This initiative of AFTP West Zone should encourage the students to acquire in-depth knowledge of taxation laws. I am thankful to the Goods and Service Tax Practitioners Association and Maharashtra National Law University for collaborating with us. Previously, we used to hold physical competitions. However, virtual competition is now the need of the day. Every other day, some serious problem occurs and the city is required to be closed. Delhi was under the lockdown for last few months due to COVID pandemic, and now it may face another lockdown due to pollution crisis. It has become very difficult for the courts to have physical functioning. Therefore, virtual conduct of cases has become a must. We are preparing the student for such conduct. I wish all the best to the participants. Friends, today a dream of our national president Sri M.S. Rao sir to hold moot court competition in the birth centenary of Sri Nani Palkhivala sir comes to reality after a gap of more than 10 years. Whole credit of organizing moot court competition goes to Maharashtra National Law University and National President Sri Srinivas Rao sir and Sri K. Shivram sir, our mentor, and Sri Vinayak Patkar, as they have taken great pain to bring the dreams to reality. I express my gratitude to Honorable Sri G.S. Pannu, Sir, Chief Guest, and Honorable Sri Pramod Kumar, Sir, Guest of Honor, for accepting our invitation to inaugurate this moot court competition in spite of their busy schedules. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you so much, sir. Our next speaker for the day is Mr. Alok Mehta, President of the GSTPAM. Sir is a qualified chartered accountant with more than 15 years of vast and rich experience in the field of audits. He is the President of the Goods and Services Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra. He served as the Vice Chairman of the Indirect Tax Committee of the Tax Chamber of the Tax Consultant in the year 2013-2014. He was also a member of the Indirect Tax Committee of the Western India Regional Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in the year 2013-14. He is a member of the core committee of the Indian Council for Mental Health and the Urmi Foundation, a charitable trust working for the education of differently abled and mentally challenged children of society. He is also an advisor to the state government and the central government on matters related to indirect taxes. He has been awarded as the best convener and the best article writer by the Goods and Services Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra for his excellency in contribution of professional education. I now welcome sir to impart some wisdom on this gathering.
President Sri Pannu sir, Vice President of the ITAT Sri Pramod Kumar ji, Honorable Chancellor sir, Vice Chancellor of the Maharashtra National Law University Mumbai, Professor Dr. Dilip Uke ji, President of the AIFTP Mr. Rao ji, AFTP West Zone Chairman Sri Praveen Shah, all past President of both the association, Convener of the GSTPM Sri Vinod Maske ji, all the respective judges of this moot court competition, all the office bearer, managing committee member of GSTPM and AFTP, all students of MNLU, and all participants. Inaugural function of the Nani Palkhivala moot court competition, jointly conducted by GSTPM and AFTP. In Sanskrit, it is always says that Gnanam Sarvat Sadhanam. Gnanam Sarvat Sadhanam. It means that knowledge is a most powerful tool. Keeping this in view and along with our objective of the association, we have designed the competition for the students, a unique competition. And having witnessed the structure of this moot court competition, I am convinced that this competition is of the great help and learning for the participants, and it shows that the future of the legal profession in the field of taxation is very bright. We at the Goods and Service Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra are grateful and obliged to Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai, for extending all assistance and cooperation for hosting Nani Palkhivala Memorial Moot Court Competition, jointly organized by us, and active cooperation and help of All India Federation of the Tax Practitioners. I think that can be no better way of sustaining memory of perhaps its most extraordinary advocate than by hosting National Moot Court Competition in his name. This moot court competition helps students to analyze legal issues, an ideal platform for young students to tackle the intricacy of the subject and thereby provide excellent opportunity to develop advocacy skills and professional ethics. The late Nani Palkhivala, besides being a legal legend, he stood for the ethics, values in the legal profession. His contribution to the character building of the nation was significant. This moot court competition will help students to follow the path and wisdom of the great Nani Palkhivala to reach new heights. I really amazed by the overwhelming response to this moot court competition by the various law colleges across the India. I think I feel that healthy competition among the students of the various regional law college from all over India, and I feel that I'm sure that the sharpness of the young mind that will come out during this moot court competition will clearly show that India is going to have a leading law in the future. I am grateful to all judges for having valuable time for him. But I wish participants all the best and every success and hope this will go a long way. As rightly said, that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is working towards success. Let us come forward and make this Nani Palkhivala Moot Court competition more active, more prosperous, more successful, and ever shining. With this, thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you, sir, for your kind address. For our next speaker, Mr. M.S. Rao was elected as the national president of AIFTP for the year 2021, an accomplished tax practitioner from Andhra Pradesh. Mr. Rao is the second tax practitioner to be elected as the national president of AIFTP. Our hearts are elated to be in the presence of someone with such a remarkable journey. We are indeed fortunate, sir, that you could make time for this event today and grace us with your presence. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Nice introduction. Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and I move to welcome the Honorable ITAT President Justice Pallu sir, and I also thankful to the organizers MNLU and the Vice President Pramod Kumar sir from Bombay region, ITAT Vice President, my seniors, past presidents of the Federation, and as well as my colleagues in the Federation, my Deputy President, my Zone Chairman, Vice Chairman, and all other who are joined over here for this August gathering of inaugural session of the moot court competition. Good morning to all. First of all, I would like to give thanks to Dr. Shivaram sir. We have conducted a program of 100-year birthday function on 16th January 2021 at Mumbai virtually. Dr. Nani Palkhivala, Padma Vibhushan awardee, who is the great legal luminary and the stalwart of the law in the country, as born 100 years ago. Secondly, after that program, we have planned this moot court competition for conducting the moot court as well as the research paper also with a committee at Mumbai. Finally, the GSTPM and our AFTP Western Zone has come forward to conduct this program, and I'm very happy to resolve that the students' education is very much important. In our Rishi Sampradaya, Spardhaya Vardhate Vidya, it is a indeed to all that in education some competition must be there. If the competition is there always, automatically the students, wherever the students are getting the great knowledge, because of competition, they will work out in a hard manner and they will prepare well prepared themselves for the purpose of these competitions. That concept is going on. The Nani Palkhivala moot court competitions physically I have attended more than 3 to 4 in the earlier years. That's why I'm very much interested on part of these moot court competitions. And due to this pandemic situation, and we preserve in our mind that the students' health is also one of the very much needed. That's why we have planned to conduct this program on virtually. And after planning of this, we contacted the MNLU University with all the eminence. Uh, Mr. Sesi Bekal is the coordinator, and he is our AFTP CEO Ravi. The three eminents are worked more than 2 months about this issue, and every week and every day after day we are meeting and how to conduct this program and planning, execution, everything is excellent and very good. I congratulate the MNLU students as well as the all the office bearers of the team, moot team, and the chancellor and vice chancellor of the MNLU Maharashtra National Law University. I am congratulating for this a good event which is conducting the day before day, and all the programs are already some programs are already completed, and the rest of programs will be today and tomorrow, and day after tomorrow we are having a valedictory session also. On behalf of AFTP, I am thanking the MNLU University as well as the co-organizer GSTPM president is also very much involved in this particular program. I wish them each and everything is to be success, and uh, the success should be with a power or any further knowledge in the mindset of the students for moving further in their future endeavors. That that concept should be keep in mind, and the competitive spirit should be go further, and happy learning, and this learning should be utilized and useful in their lives for the purpose of becoming the advocates and eminence in the field of law. I thank one and all to patient hearing, and over to the organizers. Thank you very much. So kind of you.
Thank you, sir. For our next address, we have Senior Advocate Dr. K. Shivram, sir. He has been the national president of the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners in the past. He is one of the most intellectual minds of his time and has always been very vocal about the developments in the world of taxation. He has never refrained himself from providing a part of guidance to all and has been pioneer in encouraging active participation in one of the oldest and the first taxation law moot, the Nani Palkhivala National Moot Court Competition. His presence today is indeed a matter of pride for our university, and we are delighted to have you here, sir. Dr. K. Shivram, Senior Advocate.
Sri T.S. Pannu, Honorable Vice President Sri Pramod Kumarji, Honorable members of the ITAT, Vice Chancellor, and our President, Mr. Rao, President of GSTM, Alok Mehta, Chairman West Zone, Praveen Shah, Past President AFTP. Of course, I could see the Senior Advocate Bansal over here, and our Deputy President, Mr. D.K. Gandhi, is eagerly, in fact, is our President-elect, the new President of the Federation, in the years to come. Dear students, in fact, from different parts of the country, good morning to all of you for this event. Today is the great day for all of us. In fact, we call it Constitutional Day, as our Vice Chancellor already mentioned it. And 26th November 1949, the day our Constitution Assembly adopted our Constitution. And in fact, our ITAT, celebrating this every year as Constitution Day. Today also, our President is there. Today 4 o'clock, I think 4:30, we are having separate celebration for this. The purpose behind celebrating Constitution is to promote the values of the Constitution among the citizens and especially the youth of our country. This is the desire of Honorable Prime Minister of India, and our ITAT is also this is one of the desire. That is why we celebrate every year on this. In fact, I must congratulate the entire team of your team of Moot Court and also the Chancellor and Registrar for selecting the today. Reason being that one is Constitution Day. Secondly, the Palkhivala Moot Court who saved our Constitution. That is that basic structure of Constitution is saved by Mr. Palkhivala. So therefore, that is a great day for all of us. When we started the Moot Court competition, year 2004, dedicated to Palkhivala, we are the only to start the tax moot court competition. In fact, we had a discussion with then President of the ITAT, Vice President. Then we met them. Sir, we want to start the moot court competition, so we want your help. It was so much encouraging. The then President, Vice President, don't worry. Not only we will participate, entire courtrooms for you, and you use it Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. That's why, the last 10 years, we used to have their entire facility of the ITAT. And the advantage, of course, what the student used to have is they had occasion to argue before the sitting members and also an actual courtroom. That was the experience they are getting. Of course, now we are having the virtual courtroom is concerned. Therefore, for this moot court competition, and I think we are very much obliged to the President of ITAT and also members and our members of the ITAT for this encouragement which they gave from the beginning and even today also. In fact, first moot court competition was inaugurated by then Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, and then presently is the Chief Justice of the International Court of Justice. That is what great today. That is what we have been great tradition on that. We are in fact let me share with you that initially wanted to have the moot court only for 5 years. Then sitting judge of our Bombay High Court, Justice Bello, told us no, we should continue another 5 years. So that's why we continued 10 years, and thereafterwards we felt that the 10 years it was a long period. Then with time being we stopped it. But you know that when the last occasion when we started the hearing all the ITAT last 2 years in the virtual mode, then the idea came to us, why can't we implement once again the moot court in the virtual mode? And that is why when I discussed our President, Mr. Rao, he was initially agreed, and that is the reason we started virtual moot court. The reason being virtual moot court is that we were able to cater all over India. Let me share with the President and Vice President. In fact, this time we have sent invitation to about 400 law colleges across the country. And of course, though the participation may be from 24 or 25 law colleges, but the invitation is sent about 400 law colleges. And in fact, that is in our research paper, what we sent invitation to about 400 law colleges. For dear students, let me share with you the advantage of writing research paper is that once you write research paper here, it will publish in all the magazines and everything. And one of the research paper earlier, the international taxation, it was published by IBFD. I think Honorable Vice President, President who helped us to publish it over there. And after publishing IBFD, in fact, Japan Federation published their own language. The student got so much mileage on that. In fact, that is what the facility with this mood good to the young student. And that is the reason we wanted that research paper every year. Law students must write on this research paper that will help them in building their career. That is how it is going to help in the future is concerned. In fact, this time we have joined with GSTM. Reason being that the very simple, the GST is going to be very big practice, all of you. And if you want to develop the GST practice, possibly you have to join with them. We have to handle them. That's the reason we have joined with GSTM, and it will go a long way in your building or the joining some chamber is concerned. In fact, we desire more and more law students should participate in this. And in fact, I am having only two requests to the Honorable President and the Vice President to made on behalf of the student. In fact, my colleague Mr. Shashi Bekal sent me the link wherein he stated that NCLT Tribunal is taking the law graduates as a researcher for 1 or 2 years. And of course, they had some money also paid to them. Is it possible to have the similar for our ITAT? And if that is happens, that will be the great we'll be doing for our mother tribunal, and also it will give service to the future tax litigation lawyers are concerned. And another request will be with as we see that the many law students nowadays coming to the internship. Is it possible to have some internship with the members of the ITAT? Let me share with you, sir, that if any law student, if he happen to work with our Honorable Vice President Sri Pramod Kumarji, whom we consider authority on international taxation, and if he work 3 months, according to me, possibly when he complete the law, he may able to get any career in the international law firm who's a practicing one. That will be great help to him. This is the one request, two requests what I made to the President and Vice President, and they may consider, as we are celebrating 75th years of our independence, and we say the Amrit Mahotsav, possibly this could be little beginning from the ITAT for development of future generation is concerned. And that is one. And those students, those who want to know more about Palkhivala, they can read one of our journal of AFTP published in the AFTP website, the 3 stalwarts of the tax bar. Full details are available. That is great helpful to them. And finally, those students who desire to develop the tax practice, they can become member of or subscribe to the ITAT online. It's a free website is concerned, and that will be really helpful to them. Law students are concerned. Let me congratulate the entire Moot Court Committee, especially Mr. Vinay Patkar, Mr. Satyanarayan, Suri Satyanarayan, General Secretary, Mr. Gopal, Rahul Akani, Shashi Bekal, and Mitesh Modi, and the entire team headed by the Registrar and the Assistant Registrar, and also our special appreciation to the Mr. Gaurika Jain technical team. In fact, yesterday I was just watching how they're briefing the judges. In fact, that could have given to us. Possibly you could argue much better in the ITAT. We were having a lot of difficulty in arguing the technical aspect. So possibly yesterday I found this very interesting. In fact, that's why with this, my thank you very much and happy Constitution Day. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. For the next address, we have respected Mr. Pramod Kumar. He's the Vice President of the ITAT, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. Sir joined the government service in the year 2000 and has practiced as a CA for more than 15 years in New Delhi. He's currently posted at Mumbai. So, Mr. Pramod Kumar.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Honorable President, Shri G.S. Pannu Saab, Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor Dilip Uke, Dr. K. Shivram, a senior advocate, and I would say one of the driving force behind this moot court competition, Mr. Srinivas Rao, Mr. Alok Mehta, my esteemed colleagues in the tribunal, particularly my 4 distinguished brothers who will be judging semi-finals later this weekend. And I must also acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Premlata Bansal, senior advocate, my friend Mr. Mitesh Modi, Mr. D.K. Gandhi, and dear students. First of all, I must extend my Constitution Day greetings to all of you. And as Dr. Shivram has already pointed out, Constitution Day is one day which ITAT, particularly the leadership of our visionary president, Honorable Shri Pannu, is very deeply involved with, in the sense that this is the day when we recognize the great work done by the founding fathers of the Constitution. We make our efforts to spread the awareness about the Constitution, make people imbibe the constitutional values, and hold a series of events to mark this occasion. Later today, we have a function at 11 o'clock where the members and the staff will be reading out the preamble to the Constitution and recommitting ourselves to the constitutional value. At 4 p.m., as Dr. Shivram pointed out, we have a webinar which is being addressed by none other than Honorable Justice Pinakin C. Ghosh, Chairperson Lokpal. And on behalf of my president, with your permission, sir, may I extend invitation to all of you to kindly attend the webinar. The login details of the webinar are available on our official website, that is itat.gov.in. And I would urge each one of you to kindly join us on this occasion and learn from the great eminent people like Honorable Justice Ghosh about the constitutional values. This is something which is so dear to us. And I must also compliment you, the organizers, for starting this Nani Palkhivala Moot Court competition on the Constitution Day. Because if there is one person who has made greatest contribution to uphold the constitutional values, to fiercely fight for upholding the majesty of the Constitution, I think that person is only late Shri Palkhivala. In the darkest days of the democracy, when the Constitution itself was under attack, we saw it in emergency days as to how Mr. Palkhivala rose to the occasion and he gave his everything. He gave his 100% to protect the constitutional values and to ensure that the majesty of the Constitution is maintained, prestige is enhanced, and the message goes loud and clear. So my greetings to you once again on the Constitution Day. My compliments to you for being thoughtful enough to organize this function on a day in the memory of one of the greatest courtroom warrior who has fought for the Constitution. To someone like me, who has been associated with this competition right from the time when this idea was developed in 2004, and who has attended its competition, who has judged the preliminaries and semi-finals right from 2004 onwards. It's a very important day. It's a very special day. It's a day when you see that the idea which was conceived by some good public spirited people led by Dr. Shivram, today how it has bloomed into something which is a major event for text moot court competition all over the country. I'm very happy to witness this edition of the Nani Palkhivala Moot Court competition. In the initial years of this competition, the focus used to be on the international tax. And I remember for 2 or 3 years in a row, it was an interesting coincidence if it was, that the moot court competition problems used to be the orders, they would have a resemblance, and a very interesting resemblance to the judgments which I had authored those days as an ITAT member. And I must tell you something, I mean, I say this from the bottom of my heart. Then when I used to attend those moot court competition events and judge those events, and those were the issues which I had already heard and adjudicated upon in the real courtrooms, I used to ask myself, why can't we have this kind of a level of representation
I think that Pramod sir got disconnected. We would be moving on that with our address. Now I request the MOC to present the virtual souvenir. I request the chief guest to release the virtual souvenir.
Sure. I commend this souvenir to the participants. It
Thank
moves
you.
forward. Shubham, how does it? You want me to press some button or something?
Sir, your screen is visible. We can see the souvenir.
Okay, okay.
If there are more slides, then you can.
There are more slides?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay. Your host can then possibly move it forward if there are more slides so the people can see.
Gaurika, can you assist, sir? Or Shashi, sir?
I think the screen sharing is with the host, so let your technical team do it. Or else this is the presentation, then it's commended to the house.
Our next address will be by respected GS Pannu, sir. Honorable President of the ITAT, he qualified as a CA in 1985 and practiced in New Delhi for more than 15 years. Before joining ITAT, where he has implemented key changes by introducing the power of IT and has transformed the judicial as well as the administrative working of the tribunal. Respected GS Pannu, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you, and my apologies for a few minutes. I was under the impression of 8:45, but then anyway, that's how, being amongst the youngsters, it's always good to be found always a minute late, because you can't obviously keep up the pace of the youth. Well, my illustrious colleague, Vice President, Brother Pramod Kumar, other learned members of the bench who have joined, I can see some of the names who have joined the virtual hearing, virtual proceedings. The office bearers of AIFTP, and so also the Goods and Service Tax Practice Association of Maharashtra, the faculty from Maharashtra National Law University, and of course, Senior Advocate Dr. Shivram and Dr. Mrs. Premlata Bansal from Delhi, the President-elect, Mr. D.K. Gandhi. In fact, Mr. Gandhi has already started working towards that. I saw him yesterday. He was very actively pursuing the organizing of his program in the forthcoming month of December. And all the youth, the participants who are here today. As my earlier speakers, brother colleague also mentioned that today is the Constitution Day, and as rightly pointed out by Professor Dilip, that perhaps this is one of the best days to organize this kind of a competition. Well, there is an added feature to this day today in this year. As you all know that the Government of India is celebrating the 75th year anniversary of our independence as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is to celebrate and commemorate the progressive India and the glorious history of its people and the culture. So this year's celebrations of the Constitution Day are as a part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And what is the relevance of celebrating a Constitution Day and how are we going about doing it is also stated in one of the mission statements of the Government of India. And one of the key elements which they have picked up and which is highlighted is that the celebrations have to be in the spirit of Jan Bhagidari. And what can be the better Jan Bhagidari for youth of the country, where they train themselves in a semi-practical environment of appearing before the courts of law, or the statutory courts as the tribunals, which seek to uphold the rule of majesty in a democracy. What better place for them to be fit and trained, where our democracy has to go on and on and on. In fact, these activities, to my mind, of course, they are quite natural to exist in a democracy which is world's largest democracy. We consider us as the world's largest democracy, and so are we. And after 75 years, as we are nearing 75 years of independence, with these kind of initiatives now taking place after 2015, when the erstwhile day of 26 was christened as Constitution Day, earlier it used to be called the Law Day. So we have to move forward to not only being the biggest democracy, but also one of the most mature democracies in the world. And to be able to have a mature democracy, it's important to have mature citizens who are the understanding on the constitutional obligations, the constitutional duties and constitutional rights that are enshrined. More so perhaps the constitutional duties that we owe, the fundamental duties that we owe as citizens of this great nation. One of the signs of maturity of our democracy could be seen that over the years, in deference to the wishes of the electorate in the elections, the transition of power has been smooth, done in a very ceremonially befitting manner, and there were absolutely no qualms or doubts at any given point of time. Contrast this with one of the perhaps the most developed democracy in the world of US. In the last elections, prior to that transition of power, there were quite a few debates going on in the public realm also. So the kind of transition that we have been witnessing in this country has been quite smooth, and that's a sign of a very maturing democracy. But we have to build up this maturity to emerge as a progressive democracy, as a democracy which not only is demonstrated, but each citizen lives by its values. And the moment we find ourselves that each citizen lives up to the duties enshrined for a citizen, obviously there may not be any need for asserting one's fundamental rights, because each one will be doing what is expected of him. Well, how, if we're coming back to the role of the institutions like tribunals in establishing rule of law in the country, we are specialized bodies where technically trained members sit along with judicially trained minds, legally trained minds, and there is a blending of the two thought processes, and that is what is produced as a judgment or the order that we write, the jurisprudence that we develop. So therefore, for the bench to function and deliver decisions, lay down jurisprudence, for the constitutional courts to examine it thereafter, is not dependent on how and what is argued before the benches. That is where the role of the lawyers, the chartered accountants, the tax practitioners, the departmental representatives also on the other side, that comes in. The participants today are all from different colleges in the country, and I'm told, as Dr. Shivram explained, the invitations went to 400 colleges. About 25, 28 colleges are participating. That's a fairly good number. Of course, this is being held in a virtual manner. We in the tribunal also, Dr. Shivram, miss that physical activity of the youngsters using our courtrooms and the moot court competition being organized in a physical manner. We all wish good luck to all of you for this matter, in the virtual mode also. But we are open to the extent possible in a befitting manner, looking at the safety. We could also provide you physical infrastructure in times to come. The call is all yours. We are all there to support you. But yes, in your classrooms, in your curriculum, you would have been certainly guided and taught as to how the pleadings in a courtroom have to take place. What is expected of a lawyer in there? Maybe the basic procedures also, the manner of presentation also, all this would have been there. But as me, along with my colleague, brother Pramod Kumar, we started our career together in 2000. So from the bench, we would like to share, and I would like to share this with all of you on behalf of all my colleagues on the bench, that apart from knowing your own duties, apart from knowing the procedures, and apart from knowing that you are there to represent a client and his point of view, conveys your point, conveys your ground of appeal, it's important for you to also remember what should be the cherished goal or a purpose of your standing up before a bench or any court of law for that matter. And that purpose is not merely to win a case, obtain a judgment in your favor, or win an argument from the other side, or answer to the bench in a manner that the bench may not have the second question. All these may be very smaller issues. They perhaps will melt if you realize that what is expected of you is that to profess an interpretation of law which is fair, just, and reasonable under the circumstances. And as you appear before the benches of the tribunal, especially, there is an added responsibility, and that is, since the tribunals are the tribunal is the last fact-finding authority, the marshalling of facts, the bringing on record of the relevant facts of the matter, insisting the bench in that regard is very, very essential. Because the High Court or the Supreme Court thereafter, the appeals are there based on only the substantial questions of law. So therefore, to make out a case on facts before those courts would be very, very difficult. So to that extent, this is an added responsibility of the lawyers and the CAs who appear before the tribunals. Why I say that it's not only befitting your target to only win cases, because ultimately what we all want, what we all look for in the courts of law is laying down the correct jurisprudence which is in compliant with the constitutional requirements or the legislative requirements or the legislative expectations, and ultimately to have a very fair and just society and a mature democracy, as I had pointed out in the beginning of my address to all of you. So therefore, this is something we should always carry. This is the underlying and the subconscious mission that one must have when you wear your black coats and appear before the courts. And I sincerely say this, that in your professional career also in times to come, if you keep this in your mind and proceed, you are bound to be acknowledged a good lawyer, a good advocate, and your career will stand out. Because ultimately, perhaps it could be taken as a tip also, or as a suggestion, that if what you profess before the court appeals to the mind of the judges or the members who are sitting there, you earn the credibility of your thought process. And once, more often than not, we have seen Brother Pramod and myself, we have grayed our hair sitting on the benches. And I would like to underline the fact that the credibility of the thought process of the person standing before us is built over the years, is built over the time, is built over the manner in which you present your matters and you profess your points of view. Once you gain that, it keeps you in good stead. It keeps the bar in the good stead. It keeps the parties in the good stead. It keeps the bench also in good stead, because ultimately it's a shared and the cherished goal of each one of in the courtroom that whatever product we produce the orders, our thoughts there in the orders, our jurisprudence which we lay down in the orders is well received by the society and the constitutional courts at large. So therefore, these are the things which you are expected to graduate into. I would say this because you have young minds, you are students, you are learning your curriculum. This is what you have to graduate into once you come into the profession and wear your black coats. Well, I'm not going into too much of technicalities of how and what you should be doing in the tribunals. Dr. Shivram will be remembering more. Perhaps in 2-3 years ago, they have the AFT has brought out the publication also, where the manner in which you are appearing before the tribunal, the procedures are required, expected of you. All that has been brought out in a book also. They have published a book also on that, in that regard. Dr. Shivram can tell you more on this. So therefore, this is something which is, I thought that I would like to young professionals. Indeed, we are very happy that this moot court competition has been revived and that has been organized. Though virtually, that is the need of the hour. This will also increase participation. The traveling from different parts of the country is difficult. I, along with my Vice President Mumbai, Brother Pramod, we are all there for all of you in this endeavor. If there's anything that you require further from this, or in the next years, in the times to come, we'll all be there for you in that regard. And please remember that it is your abilities, it is your credibilities, it is your value statements, it's your values that you profess, that is the right ambassador of the courts that you represent. If you develop values, good values of a lawyer as a human being, this is what you will carry out, and that is what will the tribunal be looked at. So therefore, we take pride in what you do. also take pride in what the institution does for you and for your client, for the taxpayers, the revenue, the department. So therefore, this is my message to all of you from the tribunal on behalf of all my colleagues, and all the best to all the participants. I will be in Mumbai next week. If the local teams win, I look forward to meeting them. But all the same, all the best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Only that with the permission.
Just 1 second, 1 second. Mr. Dr. Shivram, if I can interrupt you.
Yeah,
My-
brother. He missed out few minutes because that interruption
So,
also.
my president is very dynamic. He reaches office at 9:30, but I start from Pada Road at 9:45. I'm a little late today with your permission, Honorable President. May I leave and ensure that my benches run on time?
Yes, yes.
Able to it. Thank you so much.
Some important issue that if possible, that is the only on that. Yeah, please.
Yes, Dr. Shivram.
No, we missed your another internet. In fact, that you lost to the students. You wanted to convey something.
Brother,
that was only, our request will be that if we can able to do that, that is the only. That's all. Thank you.
I will proceed to the vote of thanks. Greetings to one and all. I deem it a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. I want to begin by extending my heartiest gratitude to Mr. Praveen Shah, Chairman of All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, West Zone, for gracing us with his presence today and enlightening us with his words of wisdom. I would like to thank Mr. Alok Mehta, President of GST-PAM, for fitting this event into his tight schedule and motivating us. Furthermore, I would like to extend sincere gratitude to MS Rao sir, President of All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, for blessing us with his time and valuable presence and encouragement. Dr. K. Sivaram, Senior Advocate sir, has been kind enough to participate in this event and has provided us with enormous support and guidance. We were thankful, sir. Next time, I would like to thank and appreciate Mr. Pramod Kumar, Vice President ITAT Mumbai Zone, for blessing us with his presence today. Finally, I take this opportunity to extend my most sincere regards to Chief Guest Mr. G.S. Pannu, President ITAT, for imparting the best of his knowledge through his words and encouragement. The presence of all these distinguished personalities has set the ball rolling and indeed motivated us to make this competition a grand success. I would like to thank our Honorable VC sir, Professor Dr. Dilip UK sir. Without him, this event wouldn't be able to be this remarkable and illustrious. We are grateful to you, sir, for providing us the opportunity to carry on the legacy of conducting such a great competition. In these trying times, the encouragement and support from an able mentor is indeed driving force behind any successful event. For us, Professor Raghav Pandey and Professor Aman Khare have been our guiding lights. We have been fortunate enough to have their insights on various matters, and it was their constant support that helped us organize this national level moot court competition on a virtual platform. We thank you both for being our mentors. This event would not have been possible without the enthusiastic participants of the students across the country, representing some of the most reputed law schools of the country. Hence, we extend heartfelt gratitude to all the participants, and we hope that the competition ends up being an excellent experience for all of you all. Finally, I would like to thank and appreciate all the members and all my colleagues on the Moot Court Society, MCS, and the organizing committee for their tireless efforts. It wouldn't have been the same without the unparalleled contributions from all of the members and my colleagues. This opening ceremony has set the tone for memorable experience, as it was filled with positive energy and enthusiasm from such intellectual minds. Therefore, I believe everything is set in stone for the next 2 days as we proceed with vigor and devotion to make this competition a memorable experience for all. Thank you all.